So over there you see all the fire trucks from the DC Foam Task Force. They're set up to cover any arrival. They moved the ambulances over here too. I guess that's a sign we're going to have aircraft actually landing. I don't know if I can go over there. Okay guys, we're at the Library of Congress. We're expecting 12 helicopters to come in flights of 4. They're going to land right over there. 2 on the House side, 2 on the Senate. And then they're going to evac some people, and then another set of 4 will come in. It should be pretty neat. Come on.
What in the hell is going on? Some of you may be asking yourselves that very question. This is election week. You know, some places like us have already been in early elections. Some are just going into alert this week, all leading up to next Tuesday, and one of the most critical elections in U.S. history, maybe the most. At least nothing as critical since Civil War. I've been avoiding hot button issues in politics, social, basically upheaval, and really controversial religious topics. I don't find religion controversial. It's a First Amendment right. I don't find my Christianity controversial. It's a First Amendment right. And until further notice, we in America still have religious liberty, even though that may be coming to an end real soon. But as I said, I've been avoiding certain topics on my channel, but times are strange. So what just happened? There was a late night military, and I'm going to put into quotes, readiness exercise, or more likely an evacuation, and I'll put this in quote as well, exercise, because if anything's going down, last night was just part 1 of a bigger plan, and it wasn't an exercise. It was maybe a preamble or something. It may have been to evacuate certain personnel, but something's going on. Normally, these readiness exercises are done during the daytime, and they've only been done a couple times, 2 or 3 times in the last, 3 or 4 years, or 2 or 3 years anyway. And they, like I said, they've always been done in the daytime. Right, Loki? This was late night. 12 Blackhawk helicopters landed on the White House lawn. I guess coming and going or whatever. I'll try to insert a clip or at least some screenshot photos from that event. That's not just conspiracy theory. That happened last night, late, and from a source on the ground, boots on the ground.
The first one's coming in. This is Eagle.
What is a conspiracy theorist before we get into this video? It's a name created by the CIA to create disinformation, to marginalize, attack the credibility of people who basically do a lot of research on their own and are critical thinkers and are just really good at connecting dots, even unrelated dots. and they have vast sources of information, and are very skeptical of mainstream media for good reason, and you all know why. It lies constantly. It's a propaganda tool now of government and corporations, big corporations, the money that runs the company, the country, and the world. So what else is going on? This was just following last week, the DOD changing its standing orders, rules of engagement if you're in war or in a military conflict, to use deadly force in support of law enforcement against U.S. citizens inside the United States. And I will definitely be looking for and post that letter, that memorandum. It's public record anyway. It's already been all over the internet. So now they've authorized mowing down U.S. citizens just like some two-bit dictatorship or communist country. What is law enforcement? It doesn't mean just the police. It means federal law enforcement as well. So the whole action could be a federal law enforcement operation, and then military brought in to support feds, and use of deadly force authorized. So you won't even get the protections of police or sheriffs that would normally protect U.S. citizens. You'll get the feds who have a history of not doing so. What else did we have? The installation by the DNC of a political candidate without at all, no democratic election or votes. No votes, no democratic election, just appointed her, a Marxist, appointed a Marxist as the front runner for the presidency of the United States, along with the weirdest dude on the planet. I mean, these people are psychopaths. I mean, listen to that guy talk, look at his actions. Alongside that nut job, vapid, empty-headed comrade Kamala, they make up some clown-like representation of some sort of future dictatorial leadership, and they're vapid anyway. They're absolutely vapid. They're puppets of whoever's controlling them. They are not going to be in charge. They are fed what to say and what to do. What else? We have all these proxy wars going on. We have a proxy war with Russia and Ukraine, and America is bleeding tax dollars into that country. To what end? I'm not 100% sure, but I could speculate. We have an open border invasion, an invasion by invitation of this administration, and once again, bleeding tax dollars to support that. Tax dollars for the invading migrants and none for the U.S. citizen. We have the proxy war now with Iran in Gaza and elsewhere. And of course, Israel's bombing of Iran in retaliation for their attacks. So we've got all this money being stolen. We're being fleeced and sent to the Middle East and to Ukraine and to the pockets of the votes they bought in the illegal migration, as well as the importation of crime to create chaos. Horrible criminals, 1,300 convicted murderers in their country, and another 1,300 or 1,500 rapists and child abusers and rapists. And it seems to be all okay with some people. We have victims now of horrendous natural disasters. course, some disasters they want to blame on the fake climate crisis. And really, if you follow the money, it's all about the real estate. They don't offer any help to suffering victims of storms and fires, while they still send millions, hundreds of millions of dollars overseas, and gosh, I'm getting all confused here, but into the pockets of the migrants.
Okay, we got 2 down on each side, 2 on the House, 2 on the Senate. These are muscle aircraft, U.S. Air Force Hueys, basically, used for VIP transport. But also, the muscles handle continuity of government operations. So having them as part of this exercise is, well, common sense, I guess. Tomorrow, Kamala Harris is speaking on the Ellipse. I do not have credentials for that. On my left is the National Ellipse. It is surrounded by riot fence all the way around. This is where Harris is going to give her speech tomorrow, big campaign rally. It's where Trump had his January 6th rally. I guess they're trying to contrast things or something. I am not credentialed. I did not get credentials for this, so I will not be covering it.
So, on top of all of that, we have 40% of the country still asleep. But guess what? There's a wake-up call coming. Having said all this, I hope you all are ready. I pray you've made peace with God. I have. But I'm still not ready for what's coming. Not as ready as I'd like to be. At the start of this video, I asked the question, what in the hell is going on? Well, guess what? Hell may be closer to the correct answer than anything else right now. But ultimately, hell loses, because this is all God's plan unveiling, which you can read if you so chose for yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep your powder dry and your head on a swivel. Things are rapidly changing more each day, very quickly, and I'll be posting more on this in the near future. Godspeed, America. Exit 61 out.
I could speculate that they have no intention of allowing Trump to take the White House, no matter how large the margin of popular vote and or electoral vote. They're not going to let him in there. And things are leading me to believe that's why they're preparing for riots. And they've passed the lethal force law regulation, or permission to give military authority to shoot their own citizens. But if that happens, America, the greatest experiment in representative democracy, has already fallen.